Hi, Amaya. So, this is ridiculous how, um, your, this is just I kept losing your birthday and all of that. So, your birthday is here, right? It's right around the corner. So, your card, your destiny, I'm doing your destiny reading. So, the destiny, readings come from an ancient Egyptian system called Destiny, my Destiny card. And basically, when you are born, you're born into your Mercury period and you get a card. As you travel through every 52 days, you switch cards. You switch to daily card. You have daily cards. You also have a long range card, and that long range card, which is called also a yearly card, it goes from one birthday to the next. So you will be changing your card on the 28th. Okay, so but the reason why I wanted to go ahead and tell you what this uh 52-day period is and this yearly card is because it's still gonna you can be able to look at it and reflect on this year from your birthday of last year to see how it manifested or came out into your life. Another thing is looking at it and seeing it for what it is and understanding it. So don't be afraid. Just listen. Sacrifice. Your card is the Jack of Heart, and it's the sacrifice through love card. And basically, as one of the three fixed cards, that means that fixed means that it is going to stand. That's the way it is. That's the way you feel. You really can't change it. The Jack of Heart is a strong about their version of love. They are surrounded by the Christ spirit of sacrifice through love, even though they are a jack and they are sometimes immature and crafty. The Jack of Heart is influenced by the wisdom of the Christ spirit, which gives you a higher guidance and higher motives in general. You must watch, however, that your matredom does not get out of hand. You can also become escapist and misguided, but this is the exception rather than the rule. So that's kind of like what you went through a little bit. And so now you're seeing that that is part of your card. That's a part of who you are. So don't get too heavy on yourself when you feel this way. Love is your power and birthright. You have come to love others and to show them the way by your example. Okay? So you know how to love with the biggest hardness of a king. And once you decide that that's your mission of love, you don't take the yoke of responsibility. You do take it with much responsibility, okay? You often make sacrifices in your life, and your personal fulfillment may be given up for some higher cause or philosophy. As born leaders, you must be so successful in your own profession. These people are fixed. There it is again. And guided by a strong sense of patience and duty. You can be depended on for following through on promises unless you get caught up in the lower side of the crafty jack. You know, we have a high and a low side on basically everything. You know, there's always a good and a bad. There's a high and a low. So, you know, if you get caught up on your low side, that's what it'll be happening, okay? You carry the Christ spirit within you, and everyone that is associated with you in some way is uplifted just by your presence. You find your greatest fulfillment on a spiritual path or by bringing the higher energies to your work and lives. So some of the issues that's concerning relationships, just because the Jack of Heart is a spiritual card does not mean that you don't exhibit any of the Jack characteristics. You too can get caught up in the youthful, playful, playgirl aspects of the card. You too can be tempted into affairs and romantic encounters, for the Jack is the most romantic card in the deck. The sacrificial nature of the Jack of Heart can work for good or ill in relationships. And now I'll explain that. So, depending upon the person, some of the people that are Jack of Hearts have power and strength in their love natures, but a certain degree of immaturity may prove to be your undergoing at times. You are usually devoted to higher ideals in love and have your own philosophy about it, the one, and you're the only one that can change it. You make sacrifices for you. And you love you. And you may be a part of the plan to save the world. However, in the same vein, the Jack of Heart can use this savior complex to do silly things in love. Things like choosing a mate that is totally unworthy or broken in order to see their love in someone. This can result in victim savior or codependent relationships that have all ill consequences. After a few losses in love, the Jack of Heart becomes sensitized to the pain the love can cause and becomes an understanding and loving mate. When you are devoted to a higher purpose, which many of you are the most devoted and trustworthy companion in the deck. As example, the love that is fixed and unwavering and ready to make sacrifices. You exemplify the love that is fixed and unwavering and ready to make sacrifices on behalf of your loved ones if need be. Generalities between the personality card connections. Diamond men are usually an unwise choice for love or marriage, but other heart men are great, intensely strong karmic bonds and found with the King of Spades and Eight of Clubs. So your karma cards, you do have karma cousins as well. And your past life cards are Ten of Hearts and Queen of Hearts. Now, I did that. So again, now this system is broken into a 52-day period. So like I said, a yearly period as well. So for the year, this year, I want you to think about this. As I'm reading it, I want you to think about the reflection. I want you to reflect on how you felt during the year. Don't, because your year is up on your birthday. So, August 28th. So, think about, did this happen in this year? This is your long range card. The Eight of Hearts tells you what you will have considerable emotional power at your disposal this year, which will bring you success in any activities that deal with groups of people, such as acting, performing, or sales work. This is also an indicator of spiritual force, developing in you, a force that can be used to better your life. This is a card of getting out to meet people in some way and getting into the limelight. This is a great year for promoting what you believe in and spreading your message. Just be careful that you don't hurt others as you see this power for your own success. Probably the most fun aspect of this card is how to spice up your romantic and social life. This has been called the Playgirl card and gives a lot of charm and charisma that you can use to get just about anything you want in these areas. Your keywords is I manifest love and personal power with those I love and work with. I increase my popularity and power through friends. So just think about how that played out this year. Now, because your birthday is August 28th, you will be switching your card on the 28th because you're moving to a different, you're moving back to Mercury on the 28th. Okay, and listen, 28th, 29th, 30, 31, and then 9 days later, Mercury retrograde will be in. So what you're going to need to do is get you some protection and some blocks. But what I keep trying to tell people about the retrograde, all that is re. Think about that, okay? Now, your new yearly card is going to be a Queen of Diamonds. That is my card. Your new card will be a Queen of Diamonds for the yearly card. Now, this starts when your birthday, August 28th, and it will go all the way to 2023, August 28th. So you got a long time to play this out. You actually got this reading at the perfect time. Okay? So don't feel like, oh, I've been waiting on my reading. You got it at the perfect time because now you got a jump start. Okay? And then you got a jump start on it. So your yearly card was coming up for this year, your new birthday year. The Queen of Diamonds, that's my card. You know that? I am a Queen of Diamonds, so you got my card. The Queen of Diamonds represents a woman who often spends beyond her means. Often she is successfully engaged in her own business or some business capacity. Service through money is her motto. Often she is successfully engaged in her own business or some business capacity. Service through money is her motto. What? And she is generous to those she loves. There may be such a woman in your life this year who comes into major focus. Hey, that's me. However, it also means that you will have some of the attributes of the Queen of Diamonds mentioned above. This influence can be very However, it also means that you will have some of the attributes of the Queen of Diamonds mentioned above. This influence can be very good for management of a business and financial success in almost any business or other endeavor. However, Diamond. No. However, one should also be aware of the expensive taste of the Queen of Diamonds, which accompany her business acumen. Inwardly, the Queen of Diamonds is one who gives others a higher and more spiritual set of values, another important role you may play this year. And I just think that that was beautiful, because this is you really be like spreading the word and stuff like that about the spiritual stuff that I do. A year of achieving financial success in business or in service to others, making large purchases of luxury items. That's cool. That's beautiful. Okay. Now, that was your new yearly card. That's gonna start on August 30th. And you'll have to August 30th to do it. Okay. Now, the cards are also broken into a 52-day period. So, Eight of Spades, that's where you were. Eight of Spades. That's where you are actually right now up until your birthday. And and you're in your Neptune period right now. Okay. The Eight of Spades in Neptune period. That's where you are right now up until your birthday. This period can bring success. So what you're doing is a reflection. How was it? This period can bring success in wait a minute. This period can bring success in the management of foreign or distant interests. This also is a good influence intuitive. Nope, I said intuitive. Good influence for travel of any kind, especially business related. Just be careful with your emotions under this influence. If they are allowed to interfere in your business, you could suffer losses. Best to keep your personal feelings out of the way during this period and take advantage of rest to keep your personal feelings out of the way during this period and take advantage of the opportunity for the success that is offered by this card. You have the power now to achieve your dreams as long as you can get clear about exactly what it is that you wish to do. You are practically guaranteed to achieve it. So you just got to think about how did that play out with you this year. Okay. How did that play out? Now, guess what? You are going to be the Eight of Hearts in 52 days. Well, for the next 52 days, starting on start on the 28th. But the Eight of Hearts now will be in your Mercury period. Okay, because every time it's your birthday, you were born into your Mercury period, and when it's your birthday, you start out for 52 days in Mercury. Okay? So now I gotta just look at your Mercury. This period will bring an experience of sudden social success, perhaps at a party group or some educational function. You will have a certain charm that will make you the belle of the ball. As led, at least for a while. This influence will meet. This influence will not last for long, and you will do well to keep an eye on your own stubbornness in close relationships. Always getting your way may cause more harm than good when relating to loved ones at this time. Okay, so I'm just looking at um, this is a powerful stabilizing influence that will produce very good results during this period. So that's great. So that's for the next 52 days once August 28th start. And so then you're going to work on that. Now, you were a 4 of clubs. So today, not today because it's already past midnight. You are a 4 of clubs and I forgot what period it said. This will be for you for 4 clubs. Okay, so truthfully, this is the 4 of club was for the 24th, 8/24. Okay, so that was your Neptune day. You should have like gone to the movies or done something nice and chill. Happiness can and satisfaction can come through traveling or in something connected to a distant affair or one who travels. Also indicated in contentment in some role as a healer or in being the nurse for someone. The contentment you feel now may have deep spiritual overtones to it and thus may resonate some deeper parts of yourself. This influence can also indicate contact with the unseen realms or other forms of psychic phenomena. All right, so that was your day for the 24th. You did contact me like, girl, give me my reading. So you did some psychic stuff. Now, 6 of Hearts is for today, which is the 25th, 8/25. And that is your Mercury period. That is the day that you were actually born on. So today is really a Thursday. Today is Thursday. So you were born on a Thursday. Your communication skills and stuff like that is going to be higher on the day that you were born. So the 6 of Hearts and Mercury. During this period, you will be faced with the results of your past communications. Yay! With those you love most. If you have been responsible and have been willing to give and take, this will likely be a period of peace and happiness. If there are unsettled emotional debts incurred by you to the past, you may be faced with the payment of these and the opportunity to take more responsibility in this important area. Practice the law of love in your mind and heart. Okay, that was that. Now, because you have waited so patiently, I also gave you a reading with my Hoodoo deck. So hold on. So the first card that was pulled was in reverse. It was the Strength card. So basically, I look at in the book for this card, it doesn't have a negative conotone when it's upside down. So I will let you know what it's really talking about. Okay, strength. May you be strengthened with all power according to his glorious might for all endurance and patience with joy. That came from Colossians 1:11. Look at that power. Oh my God. The planets chamomile. So drink you some chamomile tea when you go into bed tonight, okay? Get you some chamomile tea, and I want you to drink it when you go into bed tonight so you can start resting. I want you to rest up to your birthday. I want you drinking chamomile tea every night, okay? The image, a woman poses with a powerful puma. She trusts it, and it trusts her. The puma, known also as the cougar, the mountain lion, or the panther, is the second largest cat in North America. It is a cunning hunter with practically no natural enemies except humans. It is a fitting analogy for our inner strength. which can only be brought to the brink of extinction by external forces. The fact of the matter is, we are all strong, or else we wouldn't be here. So that's what you need to be working on, knowing your strength, okay? I found it already. If you consider the hundreds of sperm that competed to make it to our mother's egg, all failing but one, then you have no choice but to admit that we all came into this world winners. The only challenge that we face once we get here is how to maintain that same determination to win, grow, and transform into even more powerful, developed beings than we were before. That is why this card is reversed. Because you need to take your transformation, you need to take your strength, you need to take your power to the next level. Meaning, when strength comes up in the reading, you are being asked to consider how you will assess the inner strength needed to overcome any obstacles in your path. This is not a card of brute force, but one of subtlety, patience, and endurance. It's a reminder that you have what it takes to triumph over whatever may be troubling you. If you don't push too hard or act a fool, if someone has really pissed you off, it's critical that you heed this advice, or you could make a mistake that could make things worse. It might get you or someone else hurt or locked up, but chill and things will work out fine. If you receive strength in a reading, consider the following. Are you strong enough to be compassionate? Use the power of persuasion to get the results you're seeking. She is an influencer. Pay attention. I believe that. Let me tell you why that's very powerful. Because you have gotten me so many clients. People listen to you. And I really need to talk to you about getting things like on TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff for me. I'm looking for somebody you could be working from home and I could be giving you money. Okay? Brute force or bluntness will backfire now. Be careful. You can get through difficult time if you just calm down. If you will want to be forgiven in the situation, then forgive. Don't give up. Don't. You can do it. Reject any attempts someone is making to intimidate you. Stop complaining. There will always be sure back, no matter what you're trying to do. Setbacks, I'm sorry. It's time to get solution-based. Take a chill pill. That was so beautiful. The next card that you got was Railroad Bill, the Chariot. With God we shall do valiantly. It is He who will tread down our foes. Whoa. Psalms 108:13. This is a protection card. The plant is maca. So get you some maca root. Like a maca. It's very good to have maca powder. Now I'm going to tell you this. You take it. Now, if you get your boyfriend some, you got to make sure that y'all really protecting yourself, because it is going to be very powerful for him. It is a very powerful root for men. Okay? So make sure that you use maca root. So get the maca root powder, or get you some maca root tea and drink it as a tea form. If you get the powder, you're going to put it like in oatmeal. Okay? Railroad Bill is waving at the people cheering for him in the distance. Railroad Bill, question mark, 1896, was a laborer with no clear past as his name, place of birth, and many other details about his life remain a mystery. What we do know is that the authorities claimed he was a man named Morris Slater, and we know the hell he put them through. It all started in 1894 while Bill was employed as a turpentine worker in Bluff Springs, Florida, when after an altercation he exchanged gunshots with a deputy. This cause of the row has been lost to time, but it was from that day on that he became an outlaw. Bill committed train robberies. Oh, wait a minute. Outlaw. Yeah. Okay. That was right. Bill committed train robberies and engaged in fatal gunfights with lawmen and bounty hunters who traveled from all over the country to collect a substantial bounty on his head. Bill usually rode along the Louisville and Nashville Railroad, the L&N in southern Alabama. Naturally, the daily reports of Negro desperado gunning down white men sold a lot of newspapers, and it didn't take long before a folk hero akin to Robin Hood was born. According to the members of the black community at that time, Bill used his spiritual powers as a conjure man to avoid capture by transforming himself into a fox to throw dogs off his trail. He became the personification of the clever trickster who appears in both indigenous American and African folklore, so much so that his legend continued to grow well into the 20th century. There are many songs about Railroad Bill by artists such as Riley Puckton, Vera Ward Hall, Gid Tanner, Thomas Dorsey, Will Bennett, Jack Elliott, Bill Williams, Joan Baez, and others. In 1981, Bill was resurrected and cheered by the working class once again when the musical, what is this musical? Musical play Railroad Bill was produced by New York's Labor Theater, one that was founded specifically to attract proletarians. All right? So, when Railroad Bill turns up, you are being encouraged to increase your efforts to ensure victory. It's a reminder of the characteristics that are required to win: confidence, determination, discipline, persistence, and assertiveness. Now is the time to adopt a take no prisoners attitude toward anybody or anything that attempts to get in your way. If you are not aggressive or ambitious by nature, then this card is warning that you must toughen up or risk the loss of what you worked so hard for. If you receive Railroad Bill in a reading, consider the following. If you don't plan to win the game, then why are you playing? I know that's right. So these are two cards in a row, because that other card was telling you too that you got to have perseverance and stuff like that. The first card, success is best revenge. Get rid of any people or situation that are distracting you from your mission now. Did you hear that? That was strong to me. That one was strong. Get rid of any people or situation that are distracting you from your mission. Only self-confidence and a strong will to survive will get you through this. It's my way or the highway. What competition? Know yourself, thyself, to propel thyself. It's called esteem for a reason. Stop wasting. Okay? And stop waiting for others to cheer on you and to cheer for you. You cheer for yourself. Okay? Domination happens. So you're going to be dominating. Okay? This is your year, girl. I'm allergic to humble pie, so you can have it. Let them know. You let them know. What is a victorious outcome you seek? Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, it's an ego thing. I ain't sorry, and you can do it, but will you? All right, so that's that card. Okay, so your next card is the big house, the tower, girl. You got some mighty cards, but I don't even know this word, girl. Commemorate, commemorate, and the burden shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it in the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. Isaiah 34 and 11. Child, the plant is the oak. So the image, a woman looking at a plantation home with a rose-colored lens is unable to see the suffering of the people plummeting from the window. It's like they don't even exist. There is no greater symbol of southern genitality than a majestic plantation home surrounded by lush Victorian gardens. Every year, millions of people from all around the world flock to the south for plantation tours as their guides prattle on about lemonade, quaint customs, and corseted balls during what many call a simpler time. What they don't tell you is that most of these villages and fields were already there and thriving prior to the arrival of foreigners. In other words, indigenous people were literally forced to work on their own land. So while these simple times were certainly the reality of hundreds of prosperous slave owners, it was not for thousands of enslaved people and indentured servants. For them, the big house was far from beautiful and was instead an unpredictable house of horrors. So the meaning of this card is when the big house comes up in a reading, it may be trying to prepare you for a sudden change and the subsequent trauma that will come from it. There will be no opportunity to adjust. You will simply have to deal with things the best way you know how. If you are not a big embracer of change or you don't like surprises, life is about to suck big time, but it doesn't have to. The best thing to do when you get the news is to fight the urge to resist or deny whatever is occurring and try your best to look on the bright side. If there is no brighter side, which I don't agree to that because I was hearing you with me. We don't do that. We don't look. We don't. We no. Whatever comes, we're gonna look at the solution, and we're gonna look at, and we gonna look at. Okay, it was a problem. Now we get into the solution, and we're gonna overcome it. I don't receive none of that. You're not gonna. And so basically, this is a warning, and we're gonna be ready for it. Or you're presently unable to see it, then seek support immediately. Boom. Before I even read that, I ain't never really pulled this card before, but before I read that, I already told you I got you. Reach out to family, friends, and neighbors or call a hotline. Talk to someone. 708-253-8795. That's my number. It's important that you have people around now that can keep you focused and grounded as the winds of change uproot all the wounded, hurt people that seemed permanent. If you received the big house in a reading, consider the following. Your plans may be disrupted in a way you can't imagine. Is this a breakdown or a breakthrough? We taking it as a breakthrough. Okay? In what way does this change hurt your ego? Ego ain't nothing. The ego tries to protect you. So that's why it be hurt. Things may actually turn out better in the end. Boom, we receive that, right? What or who do you need to help you through this difficult time? I'm already here. There's a danger of going completely off the rails. Mind your temper. You done got that a couple times today. And just like that, it's over. Pick up the pieces and let it go. How could this experience inspire you to see heights, to see new heights? I love that. How could this experience inspire you to change? Okay? And just like that, it's over. Pick up the pieces and let it go. How could this experience inspire you to new heights? What do you think the idea just came out of? Why do you think this idea just came right out of the blue? Perhaps it's not such a big surprise at all. You just weren't ready to see it. Boom. The truth hurts. Okay, so that's that for that one. Okay, your next card you got was Son of Knives, but as you can see, it's flipped over. So that is, we have to look at to see what the negative connotation is. But remember, that's just something that we need to work on. The plant is a ragwood. The image, the Son of Knives stands in front of a church, clasping a switchblade and a razor as he awaits the arrival of his opponent. The winner of this slash fest must face no retribution from the family of the wounded or deceased man because the battle takes place before the eyes of God. I know that's right. The Son of Nine represents the tendency to go too hard and provoke others. Ooh, remember, it's telling you to watch your temper. So we're going to read what it says in the negative part, which on the negative side, so it says, don't be too pushy, don't be aggressive, two-faced, don't gossip, don't be a hustler, and don't take unnecessary risks and spread rumors and drama. Okay, so just make sure that you stay up out of that. That's going to help you keep your temper together. So don't get involved in none of that foolishness, okay? Period. Okay, so your last card is the Ancestors card. And I love that because I don't like for people to have the last card flipped upside down, and that's what your other card was. So the Ancestors card is a beautiful card. I love it. I know it look kind of strange to you, but I love it. And that's death. And I want you to listen. Don't be afraid. The eye that mocketh at his father and despiseth to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. And that's from Proverbs 30:17. The plant is a flower of stone. I ain't never heard of that plant before, so I hope you get it. But anyway, the image. A happy baby is lying in a crib. Though her form is young, there is a part of her that is very old. The half of her face that is skeletal reflects this eternal connection with the ancestors. Ancestor veneration is one of the least discussed but most ambiguous features of human life since time immemorial. Though the aesthetics of ancestral veneration vary depending on the culture, there are few people who feel comfortable with their dead just being dead. Instead, humans have created hundreds of other dimensions for their souls to inhabit, where they may or may not be accessible to the living. In Hoodoo, we may have access to any spirit of the dead if the deceased is willing and we are skilled enough to make and maintain contact. It is quite common in both indigenous American and African cultures to consult the ancestors via various methods of divination, channeling, or meditation for those in the community who had the skill and the authority to do so. The death of family members was no excuse to begin excluding them from the affairs of the nation. Rites and rituals. nor from accepting their input regarding the major life decisions of their living relations. In the traditional mind, neither time nor space could separate us from our kin. Ancestral veneration, however, is much deeper than lighting candles, attending special events, or asking questions now and then. Ancestral veneration, in its most traditional sense, is supposed to inform our behavior on a daily and continual basis. It's about knowing, honoring, and defending one's bloodline. It's all about um, persifying the most estimated values of your foremothers and forefathers and doing one's best to add on positively to your father's, your family's legacy. It's about reflecting on and identifying how our parents and grandparents' actions affected our lives and considering how our decisions could affect our great grandchildren tomorrow, baby. And you already started your line, sweetheart, because you have a child. So you already started your line. Meaning, death is not a subject most Westerners or Western educated people like to discuss. It is an event that will happen to each and every one of us, yet it's considered morbid, weird, or taboo to spend any time contemplating. It cannot be spring, summer, or fall forever. Eventually, the end must come to make way for something new. Death is just the beginning of that something. So when the ancestors card turns up in a reading, you are being reminded that the only thing that is truly permanent is impermanence. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to mourn, but you must let go. Life goes on. If you receive the ancestors card in the reading, consider the following. Every end is also a new beginning. The only thing that is constant is change. Put the past behind you and start over. Learn how to embrace the unknown. Do you know who your ancestors are? What does your lineage, ancestral heritage mean to you? In what ways are you and your ancestors the same? How are you different? Do you feel connected to your ancestors? Why or why not? Do you communicate with or venerate with your ancestors? If not, why not? If so, how? Do genealogy research or create a family tree? Yeah. See, it's time for that because you have a child. All right. So I want you to remember that I am Mother Mecca. I am mystical, eccentric, calming, creative, and always anointed. You can contact me at 708-253-8795. You can find me on Facebook as Mecca Mecca. Please join my Instagram, Mother Mecca 115, as well as my TikTok, Mother Mecca 115 LLC. I look forward to working with you in the continuous work that we do together. And I love you like no other. Bye.